and welcome to Youth Assembly. It's a new week and September is looking good. Yes, my name is Sylvia Ishime. It's good to be back on Youth Assembly to do this with all of you. And welcome to joining us and also dropping your comments as we progress in the show. Today we look at effects of federal government versus state VAT controversy on young businesses in Nigeria. And I have as a guest Segun Aluya. Segun Aluya is a content development and communications specialist. Welcome, Segun.
Sylvia, great to be here. Awesome to be here. And to everyone watching in from around the world, thank you so much for joining me. I hope you have an amazing time. Thank you, Sylvia. And you look beautiful, by the way, Sylvia.
Thank you so much. It's September. That is what September brings beauty. How is your September looking like, Segun?
Sorry, I get that.
I said, how is your September looking like so far?
Well, it's looking good. It's looking good. We're trusting that some of the news that is coming out of Nigeria will get better. So, hopefully before the year runs out, because now, of course, we've hit the final wave of the year, November, and then we're hoping that we'll end the year on a strong note. Things are looking positive. And they're looking beautiful, yeah.
Yeah. All right. But with the VAT controversy, I don't know if the year will end well for the states or for the federal government. But let's see how it goes. So we're looking at the effect of the federal government versus states value-added tax controversy on young businesses in Nigeria. Now, on August 10th, 2021, a federal high court in Rivers State gave judgment. We held that the VAT collection was for states and not the federal government or the Federal Inland Revenue Services. Now, on the heels of the judgment, the Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu last week signed a value-added tax law mandating businesses to pay VAT to the state instead of the Federal Inland Revenue Services. Meanwhile, the FIRS has come out to say, that they are the only body empowered by law to collect taxes, saying that there is nowhere that the collection is done on subnational level. But let's see how it goes. How will this VAT controversy affect businesses, especially young businesses in Nigeria? That is our focus on today's edition of Youth Assembly. So what do you think, Segun, about this back and forth? Why do you think some states are insisting on collecting value-added tax?
I think it is only natural that if you are working hard and making money, you should expect that you should determine what to do with your money. I mean, that's just right. I don't think it really is it's a no-brainer. I think about it. But my challenge is why we're even having this conversation in the first place. Why should I mean, you work here, right? Why should you have somebody else determine how much of your money you get to spend? Or somebody says, okay, bring all your income and then we'll give you 10% of it or 15% of it, and then you are left over with whatever the person gives you, and you put in the work. That's the problem is. I mean, I listened to the Rivers State Governor's presentation on the VAT issue, and I felt he made some very valid points.
Yeah.
And, I mean, we are the ones servicing the businesses in this state. We are the ones, creating the enabling environment. Many of the businesses that are even paying tax get their contracts from government contracts. So, and these are contracts that are won by the state government. So, why do you take that money away from the state and give it to somebody else who's not even directly involved in any of the activities of these businesses? And it makes a lot of sense, just to think about it. And I think that Nigeria in a federation, it is just natural that some level of control over their own resources. We've had this battle, to and fro on oil and other natural resources. Now, this is stuff that comes directly off the activities of the government. This is not even okay. That land is natural, and okay, Nigeria owns the land. But Nigeria doesn't. I mean, so one of the people in the state, and they also determine what they do with their own money that they generate. I think he made some very valid points to say, look, that you cannot, take money that was generated from one particular state and take it to the federal and then decide, and the federal sits down and decides, okay, get a peanut size of what it is that you made. And it's almost as though you are robbing Peter to pay Paul. I think he made some very strong and valid arguments in that case.
All right. With that argument that it can't be sustaining some of the non-viable states, how do you think those states now that are dependent on federal allocation can go about, go about improving their own revenue to stand a chance to compete with the big players like Rivers and Lagos State?
I think, well, they have to look internally. They have to look inward. Ask themselves questions. What are
Yeah.
the things that these other states have that enable economic activity? And just the things that enable them. For example, three states that you talk about, Rivers, Lagos, that are more economically
Mm-hmm.
viable. If you look at them, they are more liberal than many other states. And I'm using that to say, okay,
Yeah.
let's even look at one of their core non counterparts. They're more liberal. They let certain types of businesses flourish
Mm-hmm.
that would never go anywhere in certain states. So these are probably things they should look at. I mean, for me, in case of you can't eat it, right? To sustain certain cultural values.
Okay, we lost that connection with Segun Aluya. Segun Aluya is a content development and communication specialist, and he is discussing this with us today, the effects of federal government and states VAT controversy on young businesses in Nigeria. We would like you to be a part of the discussion and also drop your comments. Who should even collect VAT from businesses in states versus all the federal governments? Let us know your opinion and where you stand on this issue. Okay, welcome back, Shegun. Yes, go ahead with your line of thought.
You're back now.
Go ahead. Hmm. Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. Okay. So I was saying that you want to uphold certain cultural values.
Okay, well, I don't know why we can't hear him, but remember to drop your comments. This is interactive. If you have questions to ask, please drop your comments also. Or if you have your own comments, maybe who should get the tax, who should get the VAT, value added tax, the federal government or the state government. Let us know your opinion as you drop your comments. And remember, you can follow us on Facebook at Click Niger, on Instagram we're at Click Niger, and on YouTube we are
Do you
at
know the
Click
thing
Niger
is,
also. Be a part of this discussion and we continue. Okay, so yes, it's
the
fine
deal
now.
is, that some of those states, for example, um, those and allow, although encourage businesses like hospitality business, entertainment, like nightclubs, or don't even allow for people to easily buy, and but you still want to benefit from that. I think there are certain things that need to be looked.
Mr. Shagun. Hello, Mr. Shagun. Mr. Shagun, I can see you and I
It
can
does go
hear
to
you.
say, it does go to say that
Yes. Mhm.
you cannot, uh, you cannot necessarily okay to have it. It takes to manage nations like Lagos is for sectors and for those people to come and stay to do business. So
we can make out what you're saying. I just hope you establish connection. We'll just try again, and then let's see uh, if we can hear you then. But yes, we're looking at the effect of federal government versus state VAT controversy on young businesses in Nigeria. And we are answering the question, how will the VAT controversy affect young businesses? Why do you think some states are insisting that they should start collecting their own tax? That is some of the questions that Mr. Shegun has answered. And while we wait for him to connect, we also urge you to also drop your comments and tell us who should collect the tax, the federal government or the state government. And if you have any question, please drop your question, and then the guest would answer. Mr. Shegun Aluya is a content development and communication specialist. We have him back here now. Let's see. Okay, Mr. Shegun.
so
Yeah.
yeah, uh, yeah, yeah. So
Okay.
what, like I was saying,
Yes.
you have to create an enabling environment for people to come. So um, there is obviously something about those things and the allowance that they give for all these people to come. Someone to kill them, or someone's going to take them out, take life for them. You don't do some, oh, you don't do this, you don't do that, when you strict. And I think that those are some of the things, economically, they're not looking what to drive the economic process.
But when you look at it in layman's terms, like I think you should break it down how this collection of VAT will even happen by states for states. Would it be different for what is obtainable with FIRS today and how they collect? In your own opinion, Mr. Shegun. Are you still there? All right, we'll be back after the short break while we wait for him to truly connect. All right, thank you for staying with us as we talk about the effects of federal government and state VAT controversy on young businesses in Nigeria. Mr. Shegun Aluya is a content development and communication specialist, and he is looking at this topic of discussion today with me, Sylvia Ishimi. Okay, over to you, Mr. Shegun. Okay, he left again. All right, so this controversy, yes, is a controversy, but we would like to hear your opinion on what you think about this. Should the state collect VAT, or should the FIRS continue with their collection? Where do you stand? Let us know in the comment section. right, Mr. Shagu, welcome back. Thank you for trying to establish connection. We apologize, but yes, he's back. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can see you.
All right. Okay. Thank you so much. So I asked you earlier if, in layman's terms, that you should break down how the collection of VAT by states would be different from the situation where the FIRS collects, in your
Well,
opinion.
it simply
Yeah.
means now that the states have more money to, create enabling environment for these same businesses. It's just simple. So if for example, like the River State government rightly pointed out, River State is raising, certain amount of money, say 15 billion, and they get to do what they want to do. They get to hold on to that money. Now, they can do a lot more. They can invest more in security. They can invest more in amenities. They can invest more in ensuring that the roads are better. They can easily transport their goods. Logistics is better for business. All of this eventually trickles down to this, rather than making that much and then getting probably about 5 billion out of it, and then they have to struggle with that 5 billion. So if they raise that money, you should keep that money. And
Hello, Mr. Shagun. Hello, Mr. Shagun.
can you hear me? Yeah.
Yes, I can hear you. All right. Yes, I can hear you. But also, the question of how you
Okay, so
think
I'm saying
this
that
back and forth.
now
Yes, back and
they can do
forth.
a lot more with that money. Sorry,
What, what did you say?
they can do a lot more with that money. They can invest.
Okay.
They can do a lot more with that money. They can invest in security. They can invest in healthcare. You know, just make sure that the environment is good enough for these businesses to run. And that is critical because, again, people live in states. Nobody lives at the state. Nobody lives with the federal government. The federal government really doesn't have that. In as much as yes, they are supposed to create a generally an environment really be safe to be able to operate, but people live within states. And
Mm-hmm. Mm. Okay, well, that's the connection again. All right. So yes, we are looking at the effect of the federal government versus states VAT controversy on young businesses in Nigeria, coming from the August 10th, 2021 judgment by the Federal High Court in Rivers State, saying that VAT collection was for states and not for the FIRS. Okay. So where do you stand? Are you for the state government collecting VAT from young businesses, or the FRS continues? Let us know at the comment section what you think, and then if you have questions, you can also drop them, and then when our guests return, we will take it up from there. Yes. Thank you so much for staying with us. right, we're back. Mr. Shagu, I think we should wrap it up at this time. A poor connection, but it's all good. Are you with me?
Yes, I am. Apologies,
Okay,
Sylvia.
so
Usually, this
yeah.
is the perfect, but I think Nigeria sometimes, can be very interesting. We've been in
Mm,
this country long enough. So
yeah.
because I do a lot of, I,
Okay. All right, no problem. But in your view, before we go, which do you think would be more convenient for businesses, the states or the FRS collecting VAT? Mr. Shagun? All right. Well, unfortunately, that is the much we can take of the show today. Hopefully, we will get Mr. Shagun to speak some more on the issue of this VAT, the controversy between the federal government and the states. VAT controversy on young businesses in Nigeria. Mr. Shagun, can you hear me now? Okay, so we looked at the effects of federal government versus states, VAT controversy on young businesses in Nigeria. Thank you so much to all of you who joined us today for this show. We will make a return for Youth Assembly very soon, and hopefully we will get to interact then. But before then, you can continue to follow us on Facebook, on Instagram, and also on YouTube. We are at Click Niger, and drop your comments. This video is saved right here, so drop your comments and also your questions, and then we will interact at the comment section. My name is Sylvia Ishewe, and this show was produced by Ihoma EKJ. We had Shegun Aluya, who is a content development and communications expert or specialist, as our guest. Bye.